નમસ્કાર, જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. ઇન્ડો અમેરિકન સિનિયર સિટીઝન સેન્ટર ઓફ ન્યુયોર્કના રજત જયંતિ વર્ષ એટલે કે 2021 નો આ 30મો કાર્યક્રમ અને ગુરુવારના બે કાર્યક્રમ ગણીએ તો આજના કાર્યક્રમ 43 અને 44મા કાર્યક્રમ. ગયા શનિવારે કોઈ પ્રોગ્રામ નતો. આપણો છેલ્લો પ્રોગ્રામ અઠવાડિયા પહેલા ગુરુવારે હતો અને શનિવારે કોઈ પ્રોગ્રામ નતો, એટલે એ દિવસે ઘણા ફોન આવી ગયા કે લોગિન થવાતું નથી. એટલે આજે એક સ્પષ્ટતા શરૂઆતમાં જ કરી દઈએ કે આપણે ગુરુવારે નિયમિત રીતે કાર્યક્રમ કરીએ છીએ, પણ શનિવાર અનિશ્ચિત છે. એ જુદી વાત છે કે આપણે ફેબ્રુઆરીમાં લગ્નોત્સવ કર્યો, માર્ચમાં હોળીનો મહોત્સવ કર્યો, એટલે મોટાભાગના શનિવારે કેટલાક વખતથી પ્રોગ્રામ કરીએ છીએ. પણ 10મી તારીખે કોઈ પ્રોગ્રામ હતો નહીં. હવેનો પ્રોગ્રામ શનિવારે છે, પણ એ પછીનો શનિવાર એટલે કે 24મી અગેન કોઈ પ્રોગ્રામ નથી. પછી મેની અંદર 1લી, 8મી, 15મી બધા પ્રોગ્રામ છે. એટલે શનિવાર અનલેસ ઇટ ઇઝ અનાઉન્સ, શનિવાર નિશ્ચિત નથી હોતો કે એ દિવસે પ્રોગ્રામ હોય. દર ગુરુવારે અનલેસ અધરવાઇઝ અનાઉન્સ there will be programs every Thursday. હવે આજે આપણે બે પ્રોગ્રામ છે. The first program is a very useful talk by Dr. Vasundhara Kalsapudi, and that is about a subject, co-living and co-housing. Perhaps that subject is being discussed in the community for the first time in New York, and it may be useful to many of our seniors. And if it is not useful to you, you can spread a word for others to take the advantage of a very nice program being introduced in New York. And as you know, we always have a mix of value-based program and entertainment program. So the first program is a very informative program, whereas the second program is a entertainment program. આપણે ત્યાં અત્યાર સુધીમાં 3 વાર જે પ્રોગ્રામ આપી ચૂક્યા એ મનદીપ દેવાશ્રય અમદાવાદથી આજે એ ફરીથી આવી રહ્યા છે, પણ આજે એમની સાથે એક લેડી સિંગર પણ છે, પિંકી પટેલ પણ. તો એમનો 12 વાગ્યા પછીનો પ્રોગ્રામ એમનો સંગીતનો પ્રોગ્રામ છે. એ સંગીતના પ્રોગ્રામમાં હમ તુમ નામનો એ પ્રોગ્રામ કે જેની અંદર સોંગ્સ ઓફ લવ, પ્રણયના ગીતો વધારે હશે, પણ એ સિવાયના પણ ગીતો હશે. પાછળનો થોડો સમયમાં પાર્ટી સોંગ્સ અને ગરબા જેવું કરીશું કે જેની અંદર આપણા સભ્યોને જે સૌથી વધારે પસંદ છે અને તમે થિરકી શકો, તમે થોડા ગરબા ગાઈ શકો. તો ગરબા ગાવા માટે દાંડિયા વગેરે સાથે તૈયાર રહેજો છેલ્લે. અને આજે આપણે શરૂઆત એઝ યુઝ્યુઅલ કરીએ પ્રાર્થનાથી. પ્રાર્થના માટે આજે સ્વાતિબેન અને અતુલભાઈને રિક્વેસ્ટ કરીશું. એ પછી મુકુંદભાઈ સ્વાગત પ્રવચન કરશે અને એ પછી આપણે બે જે કાર્યક્રમ કયા એ બે કાર્યક્રમ કરશું. વચ્ચે થોડી ઇન્ફોર્મેશન આપી દઈશું. તો લેટ અસ ઇન્વાઇટ ડોક્ટર સ્વાતિબેન અને અતુલભાઈ શાહને પ્રાર્થના માટે.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
હે પ્રભુ આનંદ દાતા, ज्ञान हमको दीजिए, शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए. हे प्रभु आनंद दाता, लीजिए हमको शरण में, हम सदाचारी बने. लीजिए हमको शरण में, हम सदाचारी बने. शांति चाहक धर्म रक्षक वीरवत धारी बने. हे प्रभु आनंद दाता, प्रेम से हम गुरुजनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें. प्रेम से हम गुरुजनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें. सत्य बोले झूठ त्यागे, मेल आपस में करे. हे प्रभु आनंददाता। निंदा किसी की हम किसी से भूल कर भी ना करें। निंदा किसी की हम किसी से भूल कर भी ना करें। दिव्य जीवन हो हमारा, तेरा यश गाया करे। हे प्रभु आनंददाता, हे प्रभु आनंददाता, हे प्रभु आनंददाता।
Thank you સ્વાતિ બેન અને અતુલ ભાઈ for nice prayer. હવે આપણા પ્રમુખ શ્રી મુકુંદભાઈ મહેતાને રિક્વેસ્ટ કરીશ કે એમના સ્વાગત ઉદ્બોધનથી આજના કાર્યક્રમનો પ્રારંભ કરે. મુકુંદભાઈ.
Thank you, Pankaj Bhai, and thank you, Atul Bhai and Dr. Swati Ben for a pretty prayer. Good morning, friends, and welcome to Indo-American Senior Citizen Center of New York's usual Thursday meeting. Friends, before we start today, we have to pay a tribute to one of our member friends. As you might have already been knowing for last week, that Mr. Dinesh Bhai Parmar passed away last Friday. He was very helping nature. He was of a very helping nature as well as a very selfless person. He always tried to help others. So we will really miss him, and our condolences and sympathies to his wife Kusumben and the family. And we pray God that his soul rest in peace. We will observe a moment of silence. We'll start with Om and end with Om. So Om. Oh, good morning, friends.
Jai
And
Shri
once, Jai Shri Krishna. Good morning and welcome, friends, once again. Today we have a very interesting lecture, and this lecture has to do with all of us, because a day will come when we may be left alone, when we grow, spouse has gone, family, friends also be dispersed, children are all scattered around. So what to do in the old age and how to age gracefully. So that is the bottom line of this entire discussion, and that is on the co-housing and co-living by none other than Dr. Vasundhara Kalaspady. Now, usually she is known in the circle everywhere as Dr. K. So we will refer as Dr. K in short. She is known to most of you. She has been actively involved in India Home activity. In fact, she was a promoter of this whole concept of India Home along with her friends. And she has been doing great work in India Home and other social activities. So we are really proud of her. And she has been associated with a number of other organizations. Her profile is very big, but I will try to summarize in a very short form. Vasundhara Kalaspady, MD, is a geriatric psychiatrist and executive director of India Home. After graduating from Andhra Medical College, Vasundhara did research at El Hospital Cochin in Paris and the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. She trained in psychiatry at Brookdale University Hospital and in geriatric psychiatry at Long Island Jewish Medical Center. Currently, she works in Queens and Brooklyn in a variety of psychiatric settings to provide care for developmentally disabled and other vulnerable populations. Vasundhara was moved to start India Home when she could not find culturally appropriate medical services for her aging parents. India Home is a pioneering non-profit serving vulnerable South Asian seniors in New York City since 2008 through culturally appropriate senior centers, case management, recreational activities, and advocacy efforts. Currently, India Home serves 200 individual seniors per week. with long-term goals of affordable senior housing, nursing homes, palliative care, and more. India Home strives to provide accessible senior services for South Asians in New York City. She won many awards for her pioneering work of culturally sensitive senior care. So this is just in brief about Dr. K. And she has won so many kudos and so many recognitions and certificates and other medals that really I don't have to describe now, because it is full of her closet of such achievements. So her lecture is in English, and I know that most of you will understand the basic concept what she is going to say. But at the end of the lecture, our Kavita Shah, who is a creative aging director of India Home, will just summarize in Gujarati the salient points. So in English, please try to understand, and you won't have a difficulty when there is in a Gujarati some brief summary. So I think without much ado, I will request Dr. K to start his presentation, sorry.
Thank you very much, Mukundji, for the nice introduction. I'm really looking forward for this day. The reason being, for the past 25 years, Indo-American Senior Citizen Center of New York has been providing senior center services without any government help, actually, without any Medicaid dollars and all. It's all community help. They have been doing for 25 years. So that is where I feel like this is one of the, it is an honor for me when you invited me to talk on your platform. Because this is one of, most ideally, all senior centers should function like this. It's operated by the seniors and organized by the seniors for the seniors. And so I really wanted to convey my thanks, especially to all the executive committee of Indo-American Senior Citizen Center of New York. Being President Mukund Mehta ji, he's not only your president, he's also our president too for India Home. And Pankaj Parikh ji, Jagdish Patel ji, Ramesh Bhai Shah ji, Niranjan ji Patel, Jitendra ji Javeri, and Viren ji Gandhi, and Varsha ji Parikh, Nayana Gandhi, Naresh ji Shah, Jatin ji Dharia. I am looking forward for this opportunity. Hopefully something will come out of this. So can I share the PowerPoint presentation?
Sure.
Yeah. So this is the co-living and co-housing for seniors. In fact, before starting this, I would like to tell the little story about India Home, how India Home has been being started by a group of physicians who face the same personal problems. To start out, I lost my father about 14 years back. He passed away with vascular dementia in India. When I have to diagnose my own father with my medical knowledge, I never thought he sent to me medical school to diagnose my own father and to treat him sitting remotely in New York City. When I wanted to bring him from India to here, I called Albany, Washington, everywhere. Whether it is Department of Aging or Department of Health, everyone told me the same thing. Dr. K, we know what you are asking, but there are no curry serving facilities for your seniors here. So that's when I realized if I bring him here, the social isolation would be much more terrible. And fortunately, at that time, my eldest brother-in-law was taking voluntary retirement. So my brother-in-law and sister took care of my father. I used to go to India once in 3 months, just so that my memory will not be erased from my father's brain. And after a year, after I lost my father, of course, I lost my mother also. And then at the same time, my friend, the past president of India Home, Dr. Kiran Dave, she used to take care of her mother with Alzheimer's dementia here. And whenever my friend, Dr. Dave, has to go for medical conferences, she would leave her mother in a nursing home for a respite care for a couple of days. Even with severe Alzheimer's dementia, her mother would come home and complain, why did you leave me there? Wo alag log hain, wo alag bash hain, wo alag food hain. She did not like it at all. And another friend, believe it or not, Dr. Deepika Sood, had to quit her job as a geriatric psychiatrist for 2 years to care for her father with Parkinson's disease at home. She hired 2 people to help him out. At the same time, she had to quit her job. So, with all these things, we realized being physicians and having many resources, if we find it difficult to take care of our people, our own family members, how about common people not having many resources? What do they do? How can they manage that? And at that time, actually, I was almost about to start my private practice, full-time private practice and leaving the job. Then I realized if I start my private practice, maybe I make a couple of $100,000 more than a year what I'm making. But that's not what I wanted to do. This is the time where the community really needs my services. So that's when we had like several meetings, just like this meeting. Those are in-person meetings in 2005, 6, and 7. At least 200 to 250 of community members attended various informal dinner meetings at my home. You know, I used to invite 10 to 15 members or 20 members of my friends and family and professional circles, and then present this concept. Everybody realized it's important. We have to start something. That's how India Home was registered as a not-for-profit organization in 2007. In 2008, we started collaborating with our existing American senior centers in Queens and started taking our seniors over there for senior center activities. Every Monday at Sunnyside, every Wednesday at SNAP, and Thursday at Kew Gardens, Queens Community House. And since then, India Home has been providing social, psychological, recreational, spiritual services in a culturally sensitive environment. The culture, we emphasize on culture, where we actually insist, depending on their food habits, we provide Hindu vegetarian food, Jain vegetarian food, and halal food in Bangladesh for Bangladeshi seniors. So it's a different, we focus on language too, because our seniors speak Gujarati and Hindi, Punjabi, as well as Bengali. So we insist on the cultural sensitivity, and that's where actually India Home has got recognition from the local city government also. And when we started doing the collaborative senior centers, that's when one of the council members, Rory Lansman, he invited India Home to start a senior center for Bangladeshi seniors. And then they also started giving the grants for expense grants and capital grants. And the reason why we are here today to talk about co-living and co-housing, it's not just because Mother Teresa said loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted is the most terrible poverty, which I agree, because we may be living in the $1 million homes, but if you don't have any kind of resource of social connections, then that is the most terrible poverty in the world. And in fact, there are many studies proven that rate of depression for seniors who live in residential care facilities is high as 44%. And lonely seniors have 59% of higher risk of physical and mental health decline. And seniors who suffer from loneliness have a higher risk of 64% higher risk of dementia because there is no social connections. And the 5 factors which are known to increase the risk of isolation is above 80 plus, having chronic health problems, lack of contact with family, and living with low income and changing family structures where the children are going away and they are living in more like nuclear families. So if you, there is a famous TED talk by the psychiatrist from Harvard University, Robert Waldinger. He gave a talk about what makes a good life. It is a famous TED talk. If anyone Google it, you would listen to that. It's a very interesting study. What they did was the longest study on happiness. They followed a group of people from their teenage to old age. That means they followed these people almost like 75 years. And finally, his conclusion is happy, healthy, and fulfilling life is not because you have how much money you have or how much education you have or how much famous and you are in the community. These happy, healthy, and fulfilling life is dependent on close relationships, either your family and friends, and quality of relationships, not quantity, not because you have, 1,000 Facebook friends. It's not because of that, the quality, and stable, supportive marriages. These are important things for a good life. And at the same time, there is an architect by Grace Kim. She gave a talk about co-housing and happiness. This is also TED Talk. It became viral. More than, I think, close to 3 million people watched it. She was mentioning in that how co-housing can enhance the happiness. She also developed this project, the co-housing project, as an architect. That's where she was talking about a Brigham Young University study where the risk of early death associated with loneliness, social isolation, and living alone was equal or greater than the premature death risk associated with obesity and other major health conditions. And right now we have the US Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, and he was the US Surgeon General when Obama was president also. And right now under Biden administration also, he became the US Surgeon General. And he actually wrote a very nice book. It's called Together. He essentially, he writes about the healing power of human connections. I found that people who struggle with loneliness, that's associated with an increased risk of heart disease, dementia, depression, anxiety, sleep disturbances, and even premature death. And he mentioned many studies in this book, to show the evidence how important it is to have human connections and relations. So what India Home's vision about this housing equity is to create innovative, affordable, and culturally sensitive co-living and co-housing for seniors, and to foster social connections and mutual support, and to provide healthy aging for seniors to age in place. And the history of co-living, actually, it started in Western co-living, Western Hemisphere. There was something called Fix Collective, which was built in Copenhagen, Denmark in 1903, where the central kitchen buildings were there. And the people, whoever are living, they are using the kitchen as a common facility to come together. And boarding houses in America at the turn of 20th century is again co-living. Kibbutz, those are in the early 1900s in Israel. Hippie communes, I'm sure most of you must have watched in Hindi movies and all, 1960s in America and Europe. And Hacker Homes San Francisco in 2000 for computer engineers. If you remember all the Facebook and all these people, they were youngsters who started, renting a single family house, living together and developing all these technology companies in West Coast. That's where the history of co-living started in Western Hemisphere. In Eastern Hemisphere, most of the joint families and extended families. I'm sure all of you must have come from joint families and extended families. It is an informal safety net for family members, and it's shared living arrangements in many forms, either extension of generations, either vertically or horizontally. I still remember when I come from a small village in South India, in all our with my cousins and my uncles and aunts and grandparents, we were all living together in a small co-living sort of co-housing sort of situation. And even my mother's side, in the neighborhood town where my grandfather was there, whenever we were visiting them, that is also an extended family. So essentially we all grew up in extended families. So that is an Eastern style. It's not a new concept to us, actually. And the idea when we wanted to develop the co-living and co-housing, the purpose is to meet the famous psychologist Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. It's not only meeting the basic needs, which are physiological needs of food, water, warmth, and rest, safety needs of security and safety. And we also wanted to meet the psychological needs of seniors, which is belongingness and love. That means you have intimate relationship with your friends and community, and your esteem needs, your prestige and feeling of accomplishment. The reason why I would insist on this esteem needs is just because we are all retired after a certain age, that doesn't mean that you're not, your life is not worth living. You really can still guide the younger generation, and you can still contribute to the society with your experience and expertise and wisdom. And also at the end of the life, it is always important to find out what did we accomplish at the end of the life. It's not simply doing a job and raising a family or your children settled. What did we accomplish towards the end? Do you, let's say somebody wants to be a artist or a painter or a singer or anything what they wanted to, are they able to accomplish this? Because sometimes when we are working and raising families, we are busy doing all those things. Maybe this is the time at the end of the, towards your retirement, you can start thinking what you want to accomplish in life. And this is the time to enjoy and start doing all those things. So about the co-living model, it's essentially a community living with your friends and community members, because they are almost like your extended family here in this country. And it's a shared housing for multi-generational families with similar values and interests. I would say multi-generational, though we focus on seniors essentially, we also wanted to collaborate with other organizations like Sakhi, where sometimes single women face some, abused relationships and they need some help. So we wanted to help them also, so that it is a win-win situation for seniors and the younger generation also. And individuals get a private bedroom, and sometimes people can share it with their partner or with their friends. It is a fully furnished home with shared common areas like kitchen, living room, and dining areas. And language specificity we focus on. Let's say there are 10 Gujarati seniors wanted to stay together. It will be a Gujarati speaking home. And in the same way, 10 South Indians wanted to live together. It may be a Telugu home or a Tamil home, or Bengali speaking Bangla speaking home, or Punjabi speaking home. So it is when the structure is very small, it's much easier to develop these things. And dietary restrictions we really wanted to focus on, because let's say there are only, they wanted only Hindu vegetarian or a Jain vegetarian or halal food. We wanted to restrict that house to that dietary restriction. And the advantage of co-living is cost sharing, comfort, community, and creativity, and a culture. And it's essentially towards the end, we really wanted to celebrate the life. It is not simply celebrating our festivals, whether it is Diwali or Christmas or New Year or Holi. It's also celebration of birthdays and wedding anniversaries. So people feel like, yes, we are enjoying our life after retirement. And this is actually, I did not create this. This is one of the co-living companies. There are several co-living companies are in New York City. At least 12 to 15 co-living companies are there in New York City. But these co-living companies are essentially for younger population, who are like, if somebody is a software engineer coming to New York and living in New York for a couple of years, or maybe for students or training people, doctors or professionals, computers professionals in training. For these younger people, they developed. So one of the co-living company actually compared the cost of renting out co-living space and a traditional studio in New York City. So if you see this, in co-living, the $1,500, which would include everything, whether it is the furniture, weekly cleaning service, or linen and towel service, premium TV, high-speed Wi-Fi, social club, community events, and gym, everything is included in $1,500 per month. Whereas traditional studio, if you rent out in New York City, the rent itself would cost $2,500, and all other services would add another $500 more. So they compared the co-living would be 50% less than traditional rental apartments. And so to start this experiment, of course, we already spoke with one of our previous donors to India Home. He has a home in Long Island as well as in Queens. The Queens home, he said, yes, I'm willing to work with you, and you can develop this co-living model over here. It's a big house for Queens standard, more than 4,000 square feet, and a big backyard. It's almost like 70 by 100 lot. So big backyard, and it's in 3 levels actually, main level and first floor, and the bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, or more than 200 square feet each bedroom, and a big family rooms on both levels. And also in the basement also they have garage and some other rooms also. So according to New York City government regulations, each individual person has to have at least 80 square feet per person is minimum square feet for living standards. That's the city regulation. So if we think about that, here easily we can put like 20 to 25 people, but that's not our goal is to make it comfortable. So let's have like only maybe 10 to 12 people living here together. And then, if the families wanted to visit or friends wanted to visit, they can come and stay overnight or a weekend or something like that. Of course, not for free, but they have to pay. So this is one concept we are trying to figure out how we can develop this co-living model as a first project in Queens. We also presented this co-living concept to HPD, Housing Preservation Development of New York City, where actually New York City HPD actually has given 3 big grants to co-living companies in 2019. One is a Hughes co-living company, which is called Commons. They gave like to develop 240 units in city. And for another company, they gave like to develop 36 units and another company 40 units. But they have certain restrictions in like they wanted people to develop in R6 zone, R5 and above zoning and things like that. But the co-living theoretically can be done, practically are being done in apartments and single family homes. There are many, if you Google co-living companies in New York City, you will see how many companies, what they are doing. So we presented this concept and HPD was quite excited, quite interested. They said like, we never got any proposal about seniors co-living. It's very interesting. So they are ready to have an open discussion, but we need to show our ability to establish a couple of them to show the government, yes, we can do it. So that's the purpose why we wanted to establish this facility, hopefully before this year ending. Co-living amenities would be, I mentioned, furnished private bedroom for couples or can be shared with friends and family. Utilities, water and electricity, gas charges are included in the monthly rent charges. And television, cable, Amazon, Netflix, high-speed internet, weekly cleaning services, washer, dryer, basic supplies as toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning products, automatic soap dispensers, and garbage cans and all. Thermostats and security systems with cameras, smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, Roomba vacuum cleaning, outdoor space for gardening, grill, and patio furniture for sitting out. And furnished kitchens. The reason why I insist, I made a special slide about furnished kitchen is because as a physician taking the Hippocratic oath, and I strongly believe in this saying by father of medicine, Hippocrates said, let food thy be medicine. Instead of taking medicines, take healthy food and then have better health. So the shared kitchen equipment would be refrigerator, dishwasher, cooking gas range, coffee grinder machine, bread toaster, rice cooker, Instapot, and mixer grinders, food processor, crock pot, pots and pans and automatic roti maker, and special senior friendly equipment because most of the seniors when you age you have some problems like arthritis and all. So we really wanted to automatize as much as possible, like vegetable choppers, spiralizers, sandwich makers, air fryers, electric griddles, and KitchenAid stand mixers, bread machines, waffle makers, everything. This is now coming to the co-housing. It's slightly different than co-living. Co-living is like all the people living in one house, big house or a big apartment or a big apartment complex. Whereas co-housing is more like you have your own independent units. It could be a 1-bedroom unit, like 500 square feet with your own kitchen and everything, or maybe a 2 bedrooms, 800 square feet, or a 3 bedrooms, 1,000 square feet, whatever you want. But at the same time, there is a central common area where the community kitchen will be there, activities will be happening there. So that means you have your own, in addition to your own place, which is an apartment, 1 or 2, 3 bedrooms. In addition to that, you have in this common area also is yours. So it shares in this also. And of course, because it's going to be developed in depending on the location. If it is in Queens, it will be vertical co-housing. If it is in Long Island or Westchester, somewhere else outside the city, it will be horizontal co-housing. So you can have gardening and all these opportunities because you will have a couple of acres land to develop this. The co-housing history was actually started by a Danish architect, John Goodman Hoyer. He actually the founder of co-housing movement. When his first attempt in 1964, along with his friends, he started a supportive living arrangement, but it was failed. The government gave the permission, but the local laws did not allow him. But though it was a failed attempt, it actually led to a lot of community developments later. Because the other architects, Charles Durant and Catherine McHunt, when they actually went to Holland, when they actually met with Danish architect, they actually got the concept and they started spreading this co-housing, a contemporary approach to housing ourselves since 1988. So the first community in United States was designed and constructed was Muir Commons in Davis, California. These are the people, Charles Durant and Catherine. They are the people who actually developed the entire site plan, programming, and common house, private houses, and everything. So since then, many co-housing communities have developed across. Not so much in New York State, I think maybe had 2 or 3 of them, not outside New York City. But there is one company which is coming up in Brooklyn about co-housing. So we are getting in touch with them. So the co-housing, as I explained to you, it's about private homes, 20 to 40 private homes with common spaces and community designed to foster social connections. What I mean to say is, even if you have your own kitchen, still in the design of the program is, in the common area, all of you have to come together, cook together, and eat together at least weekly, once, twice, thrice, depending on that, or every night if somebody likes that. So the common spaces typically include a common house with a large kitchen and dining room, laundry, recreational areas, outdoor walkways, open space, gardens, and parking. Neighbors use this space to play together, cook for one another, share tools, and work collaboratively. Common property is managed by and maintained by community members, providing even more opportunities for growing relationships. Shared values such as green living, caring for neighbors, and building community. These are the shared values into this. And when the co-housing plan, how it looks, I actually took one of the website pictures from the Next Step Co-housing Village in Portland. So these are like common, individual homes or apartments here. And this is the common area, common house for everybody to come together and share together. And these are all, gardens and things like that. And for us, it's much easier architecturally to think about it because in Indian style, if you remember, there are many Havelis, especially Rajasthan is very famous and Gujarat, Ahmedabad is famous too. In North India, there are many Havelis are there. Haveli is nothing but a central courtyard. You have all the people living on 4 sides and the central area is for socialization. That's why it's more suitable for our co-housing. And in South Indian also, like in Tamil Nadu, you have this Chettinadu in Tamil Nadu, which is again, you have all the privacy in your bedrooms or in your homes, and the central area is for everybody. And in Kerala, they have something called Nalakuttu, which is again the central courtyard concept. Even in Andhra, where I come from, we have this Nalagilla Chavidi concept, where again, central courtyard and surrounding that homes. So the biggest thing is when we develop co-housing, I think some of the concepts we need to get from Reason Village model, which is actually developed by James Ehrlich. He's a developer actually. He wanted to create a neighborhood where the neighborhoods will generate their own power, grow their own food in partnership. They developed this to develop with a Danish architectural firm. So they want to create houses with positive energy. That means the houses can be off the grid with solar panels and all, and local organic food production and storage through balanced mix, and recovery and recycling of water and waste. including rainwater collection and all in a closed circuit. Essentially, autonomy and community resilience are the main things. I think some of the, if not all, some of the concepts easily we can implement from the region village model also. And how we wanted to, India Home wanted to develop this. Of course, it's with collaborations with other organizations. India Home is a not-for-profit. We wanted to give a call to social impact investors, where the community can invest into this project, saying that, yes, it is important for our future generations. So we are going to invest into this. At the same time, we want to work with New York City government also, the Housing Preservation Development Corporation. So we want to work with the government and see what they are going to, how they are going to help us. Because in affordable housing, government has money and they write the rules and they seek the housing. Whereas the private sector, whether it is for profit or not for profits, they need the capital and we can implement the rules to develop the housing, and community can enjoy all these benefits. And for this community investment, we want to bring various models. One is shared equity investment, where people can, let's say, India Home wants to develop a co-living concept in a single family in Queens. So the investors can come and give the shared equity as an investment into India Home. And then India Home will take at least 5 to 7 years, either to take the investment, purchase the equity investment model, or to pay back with whatever is the appraised value then for the property. So that kind of, there are many online companies, at least 4 online companies are doing this shared equity investment. And there is a bank in Philadelphia are actually providing loans with this concept, shared equity investment model. And this is a regular traditional co-op condo model also we can develop. Or community land trust is another thing, where if you buy a land of 1 or 2 acres and register that as a community land trust, in New York City, city government is actually funding for this community land trust project, land trust, as grants. And we can also issue impact notes. There are a lot of, lot of organizations developing housing. They actually issue impact notes. It's nothing but a note saying that, okay, you are giving this as a loan with this percentage, we'll pay you back in 5 years, 10 years, whatever, 15 years, whatever it is. So that kind of community impact notes also. And there is another online company which is called Lend Donate, specifically for not-for-profits. They actually raise funds for not-for-profits. Funds not as a donation. People can donate also, but people can lend money. To test this, actually, we did a testing last year. We put our one of the capital grant project on Lend Donate platform. Saranya wrote a nice, very nice brief summary of our capital grant project. And believe it or not, when we wanted 100,000 as a lending instrument from the Lend Donate, $77,000 was given by people. We have no clue who they are. They are some XYZ according to us, because we don't know them. But the Lend Donate platform people, they know who they are. And of course, 23,000 from our own community, we put in as a loan into that. Of course, we cleared the loan because it's only testing. But Lend Donate platform, they are ready to put our co-living project on their platform. But the problem with Lend Donate is you have to be accredited investor. That means you have to have a net worth of $1 million, or you have to make every year, your income is 250,000, something like that. Whereas SMBX is another online platform. They sell $10 bonds. So we want everybody to be able to invest into this. So the SMBX, we had a conference call with them. They are ready to put our co-living project on their SMBX platform. At the same time, New York City, state, federal government, and foundations. In the city under HPD, there are many programs called Senior Affordable Rentals, SARA, and NCP, Neighborhood Construction Program, Open Door Program, and co-living and supportive housing, low income and mixed income. And these are only few I'm talking. There are many more actually. And in New York State also, they have first-time home buyer programs, Affordable Housing Corporation grants, Mitchell-Lama programs, tax-exempt bond, low-income housing tax credits, community development block grants, and project-based Section 8 vouchers, Empire State Supportive Housing Initiative. And in addition to that, foundations are also ready to give money, like Harry Janet Weinberg Foundation. If you see the near the Hindu Center and Ganesh Temple in that Flushing area, there are many buildings are developed with the help of Harry Janet Weinberg Foundation, and the buildings carry their name, the foundation name: MacArthur Foundation, Kresge Foundation, Melville Charitable Trust, and Ford Foundation, Bill Melinda Gates Foundation. So there are so many, as a not-for-profit, there are so many opportunities. They're not going to happen immediately, but as you establish, as you prove to the government and to the foundations that you are capable of doing this, definitely we hope that we can develop these concepts in New York City. And I really thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'm sure we all can discuss further about it and see whatever people think that how we can develop this. And we are looking for collaborations. And we are going to do a housing survey soon with our seniors to find out what their housing needs and whether they are interested in this co-living or co-housing concept. At the same time, if people are interested in investing into this also, that's another thing. So thank you very much. I would appreciate if there are any questions or, whatever I can answer. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. K. Very good presentation. Excellent, excellent. Now, before we start question answer, I think let Kavita ji give a Gujarati version so that if somebody has a question in Gujarati, they can also be included. So Kavita ji, are you there? Can you just summarize in a few minutes?
Okay, I'm here. Jai Shri Krishna badane. So જે ડોક્ટર કે નું વિઝન છે એ શોર્ટમાં હું તમને થોડું સમજાવી દઉં. મેઇનલી જ્યારે મારે સ્પેશિયલી જ્યારથી 2 વર્ષથી મેં ઇન્ડિયા હોમમાં કામ કર્યું છે તેનાથી મને એક્સપિરિયન્સ મળ્યો છે અને મને ખબર પડી છે કે સિનિયરોની શું જરૂરિયાત છે. સૌથી મોટી જરૂરિયાત સિનિયરોની આજકાલ મોડર્ન મેડિસિનને લીધે લોકો લાંબુ જીવ્યા લાગ્યા છે. એટલે તમે એવરીબડી ઇઝ 80+, 75+. તો અને ઓલ્સો જ્યારે તમારા છોકરાઓ ભણીને ગ્રેજ્યુએટ થઈને they are on their own, તમે એકલા થઈ જાઓ, તમારું અધર હાફ લાઈફ પાર્ટનર જો પાસ અવે થઈ જાય તો તમે એકલા થઈ જાઓ. સો એકલતા વય ઘણું જ આપણી સોસાયટીમાં થઈ ગયું છે. અને એના ઉપરથી પાછા ટેકનોલોજી ફોન ને એને લીધે વધારે લોકો લોનલી થવા લાગ્યા છે. સો એના માટે આપણને એવું વાતાવરણ ઊભું કરવું પડે જેનાથી સિનિયર લોકોને એવી એક જગ્યા મળે જ્યાં એ લોકો બધા એકબીજા સાથે જે પોતાનું કોમન ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ હોય, કોમન ખાવાનું હોય, કોમન બોલવાનું હોય, કોમન એ લોકોની હોબીઝ હોય, એવા લોકોને એક જગ્યાએ ભેગા કરીને એ લોકોને આપણે મળાવી શકીએ. સો જે ડે પ્રોગ્રામ અમે ઇન્ડિયા હોમમાં કરે છે એ તો ખાલી ડે પૂરતો જ છે, પણ અમને એવી ડોક્ટર કેને જરૂરિયાત લાગી છે કે ઘણા ખરા એકલા સિનિયરો જે રહેતા હોય છે તેમને કોઈ co-living એટલે શું, આપણું સમૂહ જીવન. આપણે લોકો તો ગુજરાતી લોકો તો વધારે જોઈન્ટ ફેમિલીમાંથી યુઝ ટુ છે કે આખું ફેમિલી સાથે રહ્યા હોય, એમાં છોકરાઓ ક્યાંય મોટા થઈ ગયા ખબર નથી પડતી. અને મારું જ એક્ઝામ્પલ, મારા સાસુ સસરા મારા સાથે જ રહે છે, મારા છોકરાઓ ક્યાં મોટા થઈ ગયા મને ખબર જ ના પડી. તો એક co-livingનો કોન્સેપ્ટ એ જ છે કે તમે એક ઘરમાં 5-6 અપાર્ટમેન્ટ રૂમ હોય, તેમાં જુદા જુદા ઉંમરના લોકોને સાથે રાખી શકીએ. તો સિનિયરો 4 હોય તો 1-2 કપલ યંગર લોકો તમારી સાથે રહે. તો જે એના માટે ડોક્ટર કે એ સજેસ્ટ કર્યું હતું કે અમે અહીંયા આગળ બીજા નોન પ્રોફિટ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશન સખી જેવા સાથે કોલાબોરેશન કરવાના છે કે એ લોકોને કોઈ એવા યંગર લેડીઝ હોય જે એકલા રહેતા હોય તો એ પણ આ સિનિયરોના જે co-livingનું કોન્સેપ્ટ છે એમાં એ લોકો સાથે રહી શકે. તો બધા, અને ઓલ્સો તમે તમારા ફ્રેન્ડ્સ લોકોની બી સાથે તમે ભેગા થઈને ડિસાઇડ કરી શકીએ કે ચાલો આપણે એ બધા સાથે રહીએ એક ઘરની અંદર. સો એ co-livingના કોન્સેપ્ટમાં શું હોય, તમારો પોતાનો બેડરૂમ સેપરેટ હોય, પણ બીજી બધી જે તમારું કિચન, બાથરૂમ, એ બધું લિવિંગ એરિયા, એ બધું શેર કરવાનું હોય. અને શેર કરવાનું એટલે મેઇન આઈડિયા તો મને તો એમ લાગે જ છે કે આપણે અમુક ઉંમર થઈ જાય પછી તમને તમારા ફ્રેન્ડ્સો સાથે ટાઈમ સ્પેન્ડ કરવાનું વધારે ગમે છે અને એવું કોમન એરિયા મળે કે જ્યાં આગળ આપણે રોજ રાતના મળી શકીએ અને પાના રમી શકીએ કે ગેમ રમી શકીએ તો વોટ મોર કેન વી આસ્ક ફોર. બીજું ખાવાનું પણ સાથે, મને કુકિંગનો બહુ શોખ છે તો અમે કોવિડમાં આઈ થિંક તમે ઘણા બધા જણાએ એક્સપિરિયન્સ બી કર્યો હશે કે છોકરાઓ પણ સાથે ઘરે હતા તો બધા સાથે રહીને કુકિંગ પણ આપણે ટ્રાય કર્યું છે. સો કો લિવિંગના કોન્સેપ્ટની અંદર એવી રીતે પણ આપણે રહી શકીએ કે જેટલા લોકો સાથે રહેતા હોય તો આપણે ડિસાઈડ કરી શકીએ કે ભાઈ આજે તમે કુકિંગ કરો કે આજે આપણે બધા સાથે મળીને કુકિંગ કરી શકીએ. સો એ એક કોન્સેપ્ટ છે કો લિવિંગનો. બીજું એમાં ડોક્ટર કે એ પણ કીધું અને સૌથી મોસ્ટ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ જે સર્વે અમે લોકો આપવાના છે તેમાં જ્યારે મેજોરિટી આપણી કમ્યુનિટી એ સર્વે ફિલઅપ કરશે તો આપણને આપણી જે નીડ છે ને એ ખબર પડશે અને એને લીધે આપણે લોકોને મેચ પણ કરી શકીએ કે સરખા સ્વભાવવાળા, સરખું ખાવાવાળા, સરખા મેચ કેવી રીતે લોકોને એ કો લિવિંગના કોન્સેપ્ટમાં આપણે એક ઘરની અંદર લાવી શકીએ. સો એ કો લિવિંગનો કોન્સેપ્ટ છે. અને બીજું કો હાઉસિંગ. સો કો હાઉસિંગ એટલે એમાં અને કો લિવિંગમાં શું હોય, તમારે ખાલી રેન્ટલ આપવાનું હોય. સો એમાં એક એક્ઝામ્પલ ડોક્ટર કે દેખાડેલું હતું કે જે રેગ્યુલર તમે રેન્ટ આપતા હોય ને કો લિવિંગમાં રેન્ટ કેટલું સસ્તું થાય, કારણ કે ઘણી ખરી જે કોમન વસ્તુઓ જે હોય એનો ખર્ચો છે ને બધાનો સાથે ઇન્કર કરવાનો, એટલે તમારે એ ખર્ચો થોડો ઓછો થાય. એટલે તમારું મંથલી રેન્ટલનો ખર્ચો જે તમે એકલા રહેતા હોય એકલા અપાર્ટમેન્ટમાં તો આઈ થિંક એક કાંકરે બે પંખી તમારે થાય. એક તો તમારે લોનલીનેસ જતી રહે અને તમારો ખર્ચો પણ ઓછો થઈ જાય. એટલે આઈ થિંક કો લિવિંગ એ બહુ જ સારું એક્ઝામ્પલ છે. તમને લોકોને અગર કોઈ ચાન્સ મળે તો ડેનમાર્કનું નેટફ્લિક્સમાં એક મેં સિરીઝ જોઈ હતી, એમાં આખું આ કો લિવિંગનું કોન્સેપ્ટ બતાવ્યું હતું કે ડિફરન્ટ એજના લોકો સાથે રહીને કેવી રીતે એકબીજાને મદદ કરીને સાથે રહે છે. અને આઈ થિંક એ બહુ જ હેલ્ધી વે રહેવાની રીત છે. અને આપણે લોકોને તો બધાને જોઈન્ટ ફેમિલીમાંથી મોટા થઈને આવ્યા છે તો આપણને બધાને એ બરાબર જ ખબર છે કે એ કેટલું લાભદાયક છે. અને બીજું જે કો હાઉસિંગનું ડોક્ટર કે ઇનિશિએટ કર્યું છે, એ કો હાઉસિંગમાં શું હોય કે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ અત્યારે ક્વીન્સમાં એક પ્લોટ મળ્યો છે પણ ક્વીન્સમાં જગ્યાના અભાવને લીધે એ બિલ્ડિંગ થાય. સો એક બિલ્ડિંગ બનાવવાનું, એમાં ડિફરન્ટ અપાર્ટમેન્ટ હોય અને તમે એમાં એ અપાર્ટમેન્ટ એ હાઉસિંગ બાય કરી શકો, પણ પછી એમાં એક કોમન એરિયા રાખવાનું, જે કોમન એરિયાની અંદર તમે બધા એકબીજા સાથે મળી શકો, તમે ટાઈમ પસાર કરી શકો. કિચન બી હોવું જોઈએ. સો એમાં કિચનમાં તમે કુક પણ કરી શકો. અગર તમને આ સેમ કો હાઉસિંગ અગર આપણને સબબમાં મળે કે લોંગ આઇલેન્ડ કે નાસામાં કે વેસ્ટચેસ્ટરમાં, તો એમાં જગ્યા વધારે હોય તો એ વધારે સ્પ્રેડ આઉટ હોય તો એમાં ડિફરન્ટ ઘરો હોય અને વચ્ચે કોમન એરિયા કે ત્યાં તમને ગાર્ડનિંગનો શોખ હોય તો ગાર્ડનિંગ કરી શકાય. મારે તો ઓલવેઝ આવું બધું સાથે હોય તો આઈડિયાઝ જ આવતા હોય કે સાથે આર્ટ ક્લાસ થઈ શકે, લોકોને તમારે પૂજા થઈ શકે, તમારે ગાર્ડનિંગ થઈ શકે, તમારે કુકિંગ કરવું હોય તો કુકિંગ થઈ શકે, એક્સરસાઇઝ કરી શકો. સો એવું કો હાઉસિંગ એનું જે એન્વાયરમેન્ટ આપણે ઊભું કરી શકીએ તો એનાથી વધારે શું આપણે માંગી શકીએ. સો બેઝિકલી આ જસ્ટ ટુ સમ અપ કો લિવિંગ એન્ડ કો હાઉસિંગનું જે ડોક્ટર કે તમને સમજાવ્યું. અને I think Mukundji, sufficient enough છે કે that's good?
I think so. અમે તે ઇંગ્લિશમાં ઘણા લોકો સમજાય છે. They understood also. And
Yes.
you clarified some of the issues. So Kavitaji, thank you very much. Kavitaji is a creative aging director at India Home, and she keeps all the seniors very busy from Monday through Friday. So really, they are all seniors are looking for the weekdays to get associated with India Home activities. So she is a busy bee, just like Dr. K. And before I summarize something, are there any questions? Then please raise your hand. Okay, this was all self-explanatory. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir, decide.
Question છે કે I have a question કે out of state, is it possible to get involved out of state person to get a place in this co-housing? Not New York. We are not New York. Yes.
Yes, because the priority in the first projects are given to seniors who are living alone. And also, even if they are couple, if they don't have many support systems, right? So we wanted to do that because this person came up in the last presentation also. Somebody is in Westchester and they wanted to, move to New York City. So it is given, priority will be given for seniors who are either living alone or just a couple, but not having enough social support systems for them. Definitely it will be given. But at the same time, it is a first time when we are developing this. One of the important things is, it is almost, the model should be more like how Indo-American Senior Citizen Center is operating, right? For the past 25 years, seniors actively taking the lead role in that. So whether we develop co-living in a single home, or whether we develop like a micro units for a co-housing project, but definitely we expect seniors to take more active role into that.
In case you want to establish this model in other states, what kind of help can you provide?
I'm sorry, sir, what kind of?
What kind of help can you provide?
Okay, one of the important things in co-living model is we have case management already. We have the people doing case management in India Home, where they coordinate like doctor's appointments and, if need be, try to arrange the transportation for the seniors and all. But the co-living and co-housing model, it's not like a nursing home or assisted living. It is more like independent seniors. We expect seniors to be functional in the sense they have to take care of their own needs, and including cooking. Cooking also can be more like, coming friends together, like each person, 2 people taking care of cooking or cleaning and things like that. And then our idea is, once we've established this co-living and co-housing, then we can go to the next step of assisted living, supportive housing, all those things we can do one step at a time. But co-living and co-housing are for independent seniors. And case management will be provided, like calling their doctors and making appointments, if need be, to provide the transportation for the seniors. Those things we would coordinate.
Yes, Naresh bhai.
Could you just unmute?
Dr. K, good morning. Your idea of co-housing and co-living is very well developed in Israel. I was in the Israel for 3 years, and in that Israel, they have a very big land, couple of acres, and in that land, they have developed the idea, and not only for the seniors, but the entire family was living in a co-housing, and they have everything common. The kitchen is common. Everybody go a certain one big area, and they eat the food and everything. And also the transportations, playground and cars, everything is common in the co-living. The name of the co-living, the Jewish people was saying, is a kibbutz. Maybe you know about that.
Yes.
And in kibbutz, they have a private cars, and it is owned by the kibbutz. Any family can take the car. They wanted to go, they can use the car, they can give it back to the car. They might have a 10, 15 cars, and everybody is the owner of that car. Anybody can use at any time, whenever they want. Same way is a kitchen, playground, and it is that idea of co-living and co-housings is a very widely developed in the Israel. And I have seen that places. It was a very nice and very lovely place, and it's much better than our own home. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's what I mentioned kibbutz in Israel also.
Yeah.
And not only that, there are many co-living projects, co-housing projects across the United States and West Coast and Portland, Oregon, and so many. If you Google co-housing in America, there are so many projects will come up. And that's the
Right.
reason why I keep comparing this whole entire development of this project with Indo-American senior citizen operations is because seniors can be independent. You can make decisions. You wanted to have cars owned by the entire co-housing. You wanted to have transportation. Maybe down the line, you can have self-driving cars. Who knows, right? So if that kind of common facilities when you own, then the cost of living will be less and socialization will be more too. I'm pretty confident we can develop that model here in New York City or in Nassau County or anywhere
Right.
close to the city. Definitely.
Both.
Yes, Vrindavan.
આપણે ઇન્ડિયા હોમમાં આવતા હતા ને હવે ના અત્યારે તમારું કેમ ગાડી ચાલે છે ઇન્ડિયા હોમ
Dr. K, she's saying that she was coming to India home couple of years back,
Right.
and maybe you know by face or by name her.
Yes, Smita
Smita.
ji. Yeah,
Ah,
Smita ji, I
Smita
do
ji.
remember you used to come to, I think, Snap Center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Snap Center. I do remember. I
hillside,
do
yeah.
remember you.
Right,
Dr. Siva Parvati has a question. Hello. Oh, she
Yes,
raised her hand.
Virendra Bhai and Nalini.
Yeah, Dr. K, this was the most incredible presentation I have heard in the longest time. And Kavita, your translation in Gujarati has become better and better than mine. So as the presentation went along, I developed several questions in my mind that maybe this will not work, that will not work. It was all negative. And I couldn't believe that you have thought through almost every single obstacle that came in my mind. And it's really worthwhile how you have progressed the development of ideas for the seniors as we have grown from a younger age to the older age. And I think that there is room for here for all kinds of people. People who are younger than us and people who are a little older than us. We have nursing home now developed for seniors. We have 55 and older people in New Jersey and places like that. So there are a few phases that we have yet not covered. And one of this is what you are talking about, which is more like co-housing, where people are even still more independent. And as you know, living in America for that many years, independence has become our mantra. And so anything that takes over our independence, we just don't want to hear it anymore. But I think this co-housing concept we have seen in Florida, and some people have tried to develop here, but very few people know how to do it with government and individual community members and put them all together to the benefit of everyone, except you. So far, I have not met anyone. I think this is very much doable. And you have also thought about living in an apartment building versus a house. Like people who have lived all their life in a house first have a little jerk that they can't go into an apartment building, but you have thought through that as well. So I think that this is something that we will look into even further, and you have to come back and give us the phase by phase development of ideas so that IASCC members can also get the benefit of this. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nalini. In fact, you are my guru. She was the program director for psychiatry, and she trained thousands of people like me under her. So the credit, if I made a good presentation, the credit goes to teachers like you. That's where we learned from you, right? To think about society and to think about, how to do the things. And definitely this is in the beginning. Believe me, it's not the end of it. This is a conversation beginning. And we are going to have a few more, people who are interested in, and we can have focus groups. Like, for example, some seniors may need to live there immediately. Then we can say, okay, these are the things we are developing for you. Some seniors wanted to invest in it right now. For example, I don't need it now, but I know for sure the future is needed. I may need it. So I have no problem investing into that, right? So some people may think like that. Some people wanted to invest and live there also. So there are different concepts. So we are going to, I'm sure, like, Mukunji, and, the organization board members and all, definitely we can come together and have another meeting about this. Yeah.
I just wanted to say something about this. I was looking from historical perspective of this, and I'm so thrilled and excited about this concept of co-living and co-housing. I'm looking at this point of view. Historically, most of the cultures begin with a joint family living. We all started with a joint living. And now if you look, the result is a splinter and individual society.
Right.
And now we are coming back. So it's taking a full circle. We started with a joint, became individual, and now we are thinking about going back to joint. So I'm so thrilled about it. I'm sure there are snags into it. There are pitfalls about it. Allowing, if you think of some joint families, the brother doesn't want to look at the brother again, or the in-laws fight with each other like a tiger and a cat. So I'm so thrilled to see that we are going back to the whole circle and coming back to the original.
Yes. Yes, Virendraji, that you are right, absolutely. In co-living housing developments, there are actually many problems will happen because, 20 or 30 families, they wanted to live together and decide about the things. So some may like something, some may not like something, but there are, processes where we can sit together and discuss and come to conclusion and take a majority decision and implement the things. In fact, that's one thing which keep people be active also, because then you have to think about your arguments, right? You have to cognitively use your brain to optimize your point. So this is like, even if you are retired, you're not really retired, you are managing the whole project. So that's where I feel it's important. I think Dr. Siva Parvati Tagirisa came, so she
Now,
has a question.
before that, I want to just make a comment on Dr. Virendra Bhai. Virendra Bhai, you started with her that we started in a joint family and then we went independent, and again we are coming back in circle to joint family. From that means from childhood to senior level. So it is from pediatrics to geriatrics. The concept remains the same. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
You have to unmute yourself.
Okay. Yes, this is Siva Parvati. Dr. Vasundhara, this was a great presentation of overview. And so this is just like, it's a win-win, I think, in my opinion, for those who actually can benefit from co-housing as well as co-living. And it's not only that, it's a great opportunity for the investors also. So it serves two purposes. It is not only serves for the investing perspective as a diversification of how you invest and what to invest. I'm a financial advisor, so on the investment management also I do. So that is why I'm looking at even diversification in your investments, total portfolio. And also it serves your purpose of investing in serving a community. So it serves two purposes, not only one. I think I'll be looking forward for the future presentations, and and most probably I will be also interested investing as well as in housing for myself when I get there.
Thank you very much. So Kavita ji, please note her Dr. Siva Parvati's, I have her contact information. She's an interesting background. She's a physician, retired physician, did MBA as well as finance. So very interesting combination. So thank you very much. We will continue our conversations. I think Mr. Jay Shah has some questions.
Otherwise, in the meantime, Binaji.
Binaji, yeah.
Sundaraji, great explanation. Okay, really, I wasn't aware of all these ideas. You are informing the community. That's a great service you're doing to us. And there are many people don't know what to do with their money. So you should reach out to them to invest in your project. Definitely. There are many, many Indians. They don't know what to do with their money. So it is the best suggestion for them to invest in your project and helping the community together. So I'm so grateful to you for what you explained today. Thank you.
So it's a social investment.
I think it's I know there are a lot of people with lots of money, but at the same time, as Mukundji mentioned and Nalini Virendraji mentioned, it's a special project, right? So people have to have the social consciousness, which is called, that's why we invite people as a socially conscious, social impact investors. Not simply, you invest money, you get 10%, 20%. No, you get a society benefit also as an investment benefit.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I think Mr. Jay.
Yes, Jayanti.
Yeah. I'm sick, so I did not have the opportunity to listen to your wonderful presentation all throughout. But I have a question. There is a principal of a college. He retired, he came here, he doesn't have any money. So the person not having money cannot be served by this activity that you have been carrying out. Am I right?
Let me tell you, sir, in the first projects, it's a good question. In the first projects, we try to develop with definitely community members coming in as investments, and also they have to pay for the co-living, co-housing models. But our long-term goal is not about money alone, because let's say somebody really needs this service, but they don't have another option. So we want to find out if we can apply grants for foundations, or if we can get some, if they're eligible for project-based Section 8 housing vouchers, right? We want to apply for those things. And India Home would take the responsibility of doing the paperwork and applying and serving, because our ultimate idea is not just about developing a housing and then making a money out of it. No, whether somebody has money, more money or less money, or they can afford, they cannot afford, how we can bring together community as a service together and then serve them. That's the bottom line. That's the reason why I mentioned about foundation grants. I also mentioned about government involvement, because if you see Florida, Shantiniketan is developed, but that is essentially you have to buy your own unit. Whereas our idea is, if somebody cannot buy, right? Can we develop a model where they have maybe a Section 8 based housing voucher, or maybe a foundation would sponsor their unit, right? Let's say a foundation would sponsor a unit for indigent population. We will develop that, because foundations have money too, millions of dollars of, like Harry Janet Weinberg Foundation actually spends millions in dollars in housing development. Because one of the biggest things in healthcare is a lot of hospitals are being overburdened because people are homeless and they are ending up in hospital charging the Medicaid. Medicaid is spending a lot of money, either in emergency room visits or inpatient hospitalizations. I'm sure most of the physicians in this group, they know this. And that's where government is actually trying to see if government can give some grants, free money, or government can give some low interest rates, 0.5% or 1% interest. Sometimes government gives as a loan, and after 30, 40 years, they may forgive the loan also if you serve the community. So our idea is, whether somebody has money or not, on a long-term goal, we want to serve everybody. And that's where we wanted to bring community, and even community also. Don't underestimate our own community. Honestly, India Home is in this position because in the first 4 or 5 years, we actually, including Dr. Leena Doshi from Doshi Family Foundation and Mr. Vijay Kedia from Kedia Foundation, and a lot of our board members donated money, almost like $1 million or so. And with that money, we established, and now our government funding is 90%, community donations are 10%. But in the beginning, it is 80 to 90% community donations. In the same way, in the beginning of this co-living and co-housing project, I wanted to tell mostly community investment. First 2, 3, 5 years, we would see community investment. But once we see the community investment, we wanted to show it to the government and then get some funding for the housing. For example, one of the housing projects we applied for this year, we can, Serenia can share the project which we are applying. I'm not sure whether we get it or not, but we are trying our best to get some government funding into this. Serenia, would you mind sharing the housing project, which, yeah. So this is actually, you can scroll down to show the building. This is actually one of the project in Queens, actually on Hillside Avenue. There is a land piece of 52 by 100, the small blue thing you see. That is, we got the appraisals done and study done. And this is the land piece size. And we are proposing to the government a 7-storied building into this, like this. Which is like on the bottom line is a community facility, and the 6 floors, the top 6 floors are residential facilities where you can see 30 of studios, mini micro apartments, and 10 of 1-bedroom apartments. To purchase the land is very expensive in Queens, you know. So the cost is like 2.3 million, and then we're asking government to get $3 million. To purchase the land and to remove the small existing facilities. And we are bringing AAFE, Asian Americans for Equality, as a developer into this project. You can see these are like mini micro apartments. Actually, each studio is about 325 or 350 square feet, and 1-bedrooms are about 400 square feet. So we don't know whether we get the funding or not, but we applied for the funding. So our idea is this one would serve the low-income seniors also into this, because when we bring government money, we are supposed to, we can't restrict it. It's only for people with money. We want to serve the low-income people too. Yes, sir.
Any other question?
Nainesh, I think
Yeah,
has raised
I
his
have
hand.
one more
Nainesh
question.
Shah.
Suppose that somebody doesn't have any money, but he can be very useful to the such a housing project.
Yes.
Is there any subsidy we can extend to that person to buy the house there or to have the house there? Have we reached that stage?
Yes, sir. It depends on the individual thing. If you know someone, please refer them to Kavita and Mukunji, and then we will talk to them, because one of the things in this co-living and co-housing projects, we need people to actually manage the day-to-day things and do few of the things. So if we can accommodate somebody in that role, that would be, we try our best to accommodate everyone.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate.
By the way, Jayanti Bhai, who asked the question, is our senior most member. He's in a mid-80s, but he's like a youngster. He just goes on vacation and enjoys the life.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yes, Lalit Bhai.
Lalit.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I really must compliment you. These are the thoughts that were going on in my mind since last few years. There is a very good song, जिंदगी एक सफर सुहाना, कल क्या होगा किसने जाना, हंसते गाते जहां से गुजर, दुनिया की तू परवाह न कर. I must compliment Indians for their successful career here in India. Everybody started with hardly anything, but with full knowledge, and most of them have totally successful and gone to a very great heights. so much so that even President Biden had selected so many Indians. I feel કે ગુજરાતીમાં એક સેન્ટેન્સ કહીશ કે જિંદગીના છેલ્લા દિવસો જેના સારા જાય છે તે જિંદગી તરી જાય છે. In life, there are always ups and downs, and people have passed through that age and the senior citizen. And now it depends on how they are going to pass their last stage of life is most important. And I'd already thought of this project more than a year back, suggesting to Indians that we Indians always first, as soon as possible, buy a house. So majority of the people would have their own house. These properties have also appreciated a lot. Now everybody's children are successful. They are very well settled, but based on their job and profession, they have to settle down in different places. So during the last phase of life, these children are busy in their own lives. Now, the way Indian senior citizen is doing this Zoom, etc., and in the meeting, everybody getting together, they are all having a wonderful meetings together. And my suggestion was also one more, that there are going to be other needs of life. One is that because we are old, a day comes when we are going to need daycare, living, etc., where medically treatment also could be made available to them. And unfortunately, the problem with we Indians is, then even if we are in heaven, people will say, sorry, the food was not good, we have come back. The first thing we all, wherever we go, inquire about the food, whenever we travel, etc. So here, when we all are together, senior people, they will be able to not only share a wonderful time together, but the problem is that how do we pass time now? If the way we are living, forget the current situation, but even otherwise, people look forward as soon as possible, when is going to be this meeting of our senior citizen, this, that, but rest of the day, it becomes difficult for them to pass time. So here living together, and my
It's, you have to
I
unmute,
think,
sir. Please unmute.
Lalit bhai, you unmute, and if you have any specific question.
Lalit bhai, we
yeah,
are running short of time. So if you have question, you can ask the question.
share separately, I would urge you to give me their phone numbers, and one of these, I'm going to call them.
Okay.
I will share my thoughts.
Okay.
Wonderful ideas that I also share, and I would like to, I must compliment you to know that such things are going on, and that's a great thing. God has blessed a noble cause to take care of the needy people.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I think there are no more questions, I believe. Do you see any questions now?
ના બીજું કોઈ નથી.
Okay, Dr. K, thank you very much. In your 40 minutes or so speech, you have given us tons of information about the new concept. You are the pioneer in this area in New York, and you have given your life to India Home. Because whenever I see after I joined India Home, she is either at her practice or at patient's house serving the patients, or in India Home. She goes home only to sleep. So you can imagine how busy she is. Now there are about 175 Zoom entry. That means about 300 plus people there. And
it is 183 now.
Oh, 183. So, okay. So more than 350 people are watching this show. So really they all enjoyed it. And we are going to put up in our senior citizen the survey also. So those who reply, I think we will come to know better. And this is a great presentation. And thank you very much for your valuable time. And again, we'll be looking to you for further guidance. Also, I have to say that India Home and Dr. K has been very helpful to us for preparing our application for funding for the grants. Last year was the first time when we submitted. She helped a lot to prepare it and submit it. Unfortunately, newcomers like us, the new kids on the block, didn't get a penny. Again, this year, recently, she filed on our behalf. And hopefully, let's see what happens, depends upon how much New York City gets from this stimulus package. So let's keep our fingers crossed, but we get a lot of guidance from India Home, not only on this application, but as to their various activities. So Dr. K, thank you very much for your guidance. And I think there'll be another occasion, we will have to invite you and discuss further from the investor viewpoint and other things. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mukundji. We hope, we will continue this conversation. All of you know Mukundji, and so you can always reach out. At the same time, our idea is also to see the possibility if we can do something like a collaborative thing between India Home and Indo-American Senior Citizen Association of New York together in Long Island or in Queens, wherever. If we can think about it with your board members, we can have a special meeting because I'm pretty confident we can get some government funding into this because after Mukundji became our president, believe it or not, India Home is going on leaps and bounces because there is no nonsense. We have board meetings, we decide and we do things. So I am looking forward for more collaboration. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Dr. K. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vasundhara ji, for a wonderful concept explained so well. Yes, Mukundi, we'll go ahead with the future programs.
Yeah, I think before we start the second program, I think let's give a little bit of in-house information about our programs and future